Okay, so after talking to Andrew the other day, I looked into the Scarlet Pimpernel guy and his band. There's a surprising lack of reports on this guy, considering how long he's been around. Apparently 2 years. You think this sort of thing would get more attention. These are from the school paper. Andrew directed them to me. Tony wrote most of these. He's the head writer, so otherwise I'm pretty sure this wouldn't get any attention at all. Freedom of speech, after all. Although the amendments haven't really bothered this school in the past. Andrew wasn't kidding about this guy. In the most recent article, it says, "The Scarlet Pimpernel and his mysterious league are yet to be discovered as 21-year-old Thomas Bebo is found duct-taped to a traffic light, shirtless with a red star-shaped flower across his chest. Bebo claims to have been jumped after his last class by 3 men. I couldn't see their faces, but I think they were students," says Bebo. And then it talks about how this guy was walked down to the road and forced up against the pole and duct taped to it. But then, just before his attackers left, one of them, who appeared to Bebo as the leader, addressed him. "I remember it so clearly," Bebo says in awe. "He had a deep voice, like Batman or something. He told me that the colorblind people have trouble reading traffic lights. He told me to think about that while I watched it change all night. And then they left." When asked for an explanation for this particular type of treatment from the Scarlet Pimpernel, Thomas Bebo owns up to harassing a colorblind student earlier this week. Or how about this one? Siblings Peter and Jeanette Franklin claim to have been followed by random old people. "They kept popping up everywhere," Jeanette claims. "I didn't think much of it at first, but then I realized I would see them everywhere." Peter said the same. "For weeks they would see these elderly citizens following them and watching them. I finally went to talk to one and asked what she wanted," Jeanette said. "She suddenly flicked me in the head and walked away. Then it began. Every time either Peter or Jeanette saw one of these senior citizens, they would approach the siblings, flick them in the head, and then walk away. I was going crazy," Peter said. "What was their deal? We wanted to call the police, but we didn't know how to explain it." After months of this, Peter and Jeanette were approached once again by an old woman. They prepared themselves for the flick, but instead she handed them a small piece of paper. "I hope you learned your lesson," she said. "It can be annoying to be always picked on." Then she walked away. The paper only had a red star-shaped flower drawn on it. Oh, I like this one. 4 students, Daniel Rames, James McCormill, Cameron Staley, and George Young, were found stripped to their underwear in the Orczy Botany Garden. Their wrists had been tied together in a circle around the giant cactus. A note with a red flower pinned to the peak of the cactus. Oh, I wonder what the story behind that one is. They don't give much detail. I wish there was a picture. But these articles don't just talk about stupid pranks. They also talk about how there have been a lot of anonymous donations in support of the different people. Charity work and stuff like that. This one talks about how some different people received a basket of homemade goodies with a note from the Scarlet Pimpernel. Oh. This one says that a sizable donation was made in cash to a small foundation that opposes the petition, the El Dorado charity. I wonder if there are any girls in the league. None of the eyewitnesses mentioned any of them. Maybe there are more behind the scenes. I wonder how many people are even involved. Well, we know that the Scarlet Pimpernel is a guy. The Bebo guy who got taped to the traffic light said so. Apparently he has a Batman voice. Let's just hope it's not as bad as Christian Bale's. But this is pretty impressive. Someone is taking initiative. Good for them. They're stirring up enough trouble that the school put out a notice that anyone who's in league with the Scarlet Pimpernel will be punished with expulsion. Tony writes that this might be proof of the school siding against the different people. Because, well, the Scarlet Pimpernel escapades don't really directly affect the school itself, so why threaten anybody with expulsion? I wonder who this guy is. He could be anybody. Well, at least you know he's a student. And that's it. Maybe he's a second year. Because, well, he showed up 2 years ago. Or maybe he's older And he started doing this 2 years ago. Well, I don't know, and I probably never will. It's interesting to think about it. I'll probably be talking about this in the future, so updates later.